Like most MMORPGs, Skyblock heavily revolves around its economy. Virtual game economies and real-life economies are very similar. They go up and down in value depending on events. Any sudden increase or decrease in the number of coins in circulation will also increase or decrease the price of every item in the game, known as inflation. And this happens in the real world too. The biggest cause of this is duping and boosting, which leads to IRL trading, but I will get to that later. For now, you need to understand why inflation happens, and for that, it's basic real-world economics time, just what everyone needed on a Friday afternoon. In real life, at least traditionally, money was backed up against gold. A banknote for $10 would be worth some amount of gold. If you printed more money but did not have more gold, there is more money against less gold, and the value of $1 would decrease, as $1 would represent a lower percentage of all the gold in the world. Now in Skyblock, imagine this, but instead dollars and gold, it's coins and purchasing power for things like dungeons chests, items, and slayers. If you add more coins into the economy, coins effectively become less useful and the prices of every item in the game go up. A good example of this is how when Skyblock first released, 200,000 coins would make you one of the richest players in the game. But now, we need a solid billion coins to be even close to being rich. Inflation is obviously not something you notice overnight. The prices of everything creep up slowly, and you don't really notice it if you're playing, because the items you sell and buy also go up in price. But let's say you took a break from the game, and you were once amongst the richest. You'll come back to being relatively average without having a lot, and this is bad, as Hypixel wants to keep these players in the game when they come back, as coming back to being very poor after all of your grinding is enough to make anyone quit. So how do you reduce inflation? Well, back to the real world example. If you produce more gold, the value of $1 would increase and it would represent more gold. So for Skyblock's equivalent, you can reduce and even reverse inflation by taking coins out of the economy, which is done by introducing new ways to take coins out of the economy. This is obviously impossible to do in real life, as once money is in circulation, it's there for good. But as Skyblock's currency isn't backed up by anything, the easiest way to increase its value is to simply remove it. And this is done by introducing things like taxes in the bazaar and auction house, and things like the dungeons chest, which removes coins in exchange for items and then sold on the auction house, removing even more coins from taxes. Pretty simple. But first, to understand why things like Scavenger 5 cost 50 million coins, and why some of the most expensive items in the game are into the hundreds of millions of coins, we need to get to the root cause of Skyblock's inflation. The first major problem is minions. Before the introduction of the bazaar, clay minions and later snow minions were the best minions to use, as they sold to NPCs for more money per hour than any other minion. The issue with selling to NPCs is that it adds new coins into the economy, causing inflation. And when every single player in the game hears from their friends and YouTubers that clay minions are the best, they too set up minions and add even more coins into the economy. And at least in my opinion, because there's no official numbers, is where I believe a large amount of Skyblock's coins have come from, and I'm glad the newer updates are taking coins out of the economy, as items like a 50 mil Midas become intrinsically worth more despite still being worth 50 million coins. The second major problem is of course dupers and boosters. Boosters are self-explanatory, as they damage the economy via the use of minions, but dupers are arguably worse, as a good duplication glitch will introduce billions and trillions of coins into the economy in a matter of days, further contributing to inflation. In a recent Reddit Q&A, I'm not gonna link it, because these people really do not deserve to be credited. A group of people found a duplication glitch, which eventually led to approximately 1 trillion coins being injected into the economy, which they predict cause inflation of 5 to 10%. Essentially, if these people did not duplicate the amount they did, everyone would be about 5 to 10% richer than they are now. not to mention the amount of false bans they caused, and they would still be doing it if someone didn't accidentally bid 900 million coins on a whale pet. So that's about it. Inflation causes the game to be a lot harder for new players to get into the game, and a lot more grindy for the late game players. The reason so many money saints like Slayers exist is to take coins out of the economy, and things will continue to increase in price until more coins are taken out of the economy.